uh, all the esteemed speakers and esteemed participants, teachers, training, all my colleagues, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to you. So ultimately we have completed the virtual lecture series on different modules of weather and climate science and services. services. I wish to express my very sincere thanks to uh, our DGM staff, head CRS, secretary, joint secretaries for their kinds, valuable supports at each and every stage and different new ideas, due to which ultimately we could complete this program. So I wish to inform that across the country 75 universities and 75 colleges were identified, and all the colleges and university authorities were invited through email as well as through DO letters to for this for nominating teachers and students from their esteemed institutes. Uh, However, 24 institutes could send their participants as teachers and students, and other institutes, they have expressed through email their inability to participate because some activities are going on at their, but they told that in future if IMD does this thing, then kindly let them be included in our emailing list. So now in the now here actually we tried to cover some basics of different aspects of weather and climate service, just like starting from observation, then radar, satellite, then climate service, basics of the climate service also, then basics of the weather forecasting science also, and all these things, basics of the tropical cyclones also, all these things. And we got very good, and not only that, we have designed one feedback form also, and that feedback form we provided to all the nominated participants, and we have received those feedbacks, and at MTI we have analyzed, compiled those feedback, and this analysis of that compiled feedback will be shown now by Dr. Siris Khedikar. And with this small introductory talk, now I request Dr. Siris Khedikar to please show the compiled feedback analysis, and after that we may invite a couple of participants to listen feedback from their mouth itself here. So Dr. Khedikar, please.
Can we move the slide and audio?
Shirish, you are not audible.
Siris, you are not audible, bhai.
Now, sir. Now.
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Now it's fine,
Okay.
Shirish. You can continue.
Thank you very much, sir. Respected Director General, sir. Respected Head MTI and respected Head CRS. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to do the feedback analysis. So, and thank you to all trainees and all the staff and those people who have directly and indirectly helped to make this program successful. So, in the feedback, this is the content of the feedback. We have divided the feedback into 6 portions, that is knowledge, organizing the and planning, instructional skill, audience classification, access to teacher to the question, and additional comments. So these are the how the feedback form is we have prepared. So this was the feedback form we shared with the trainees, teachers, and those people who have attended this program. And we have knowledge wise, Knowledge wise, the instructor, whether we ask whether the instructor was knowledgeable in the field of study represented by the short lecture series. So 78% was strongly agree, and 22% was agree that yes, the whatever the people instructor was in the knowledgeable in the field. So 78% have strongly agree that they are knowledgeable, and 22% agree. So nobody was disagree and nobody was strongly disagree. Same way, organization and planning. So we asked organization and planning. So the structure of the lecture achieved in the objectives of the short lecture series. So 67% was the people was agree, and 33% was agree, and nobody was disagree, and nobody was strongly disagree. Similar way, the content in relevant and whether the content was relevant or current. So 77% people told that it was strongly agree, it was relevant and the current, and 23% was agree, nobody was disagree, and no any training we have received feedback strongly disagree. Similar way, lectures delivered were found very useful and enriching. So 77% told they are strongly agree, 23% told that they are agree. Similarly, lecture objectives were clearly communicated to the audience. If we when we asked this, they told that 62% people was strongly agree that it was yes, it was communicated, and 38% was agree. Similar way, nobody was disagree and nobody was strongly disagree. Level of lecture delivered too high or too trivial level. So when we told that 46% was strongly agree, it was yes, it was in that level. 23 was agree and 31% was disagree. It was not too high. So this is how. Similar way.
This point number 6, no, is slightly confusing to point number 6. Content high, content trivial.
So it was level strong. 1 minute, sir. In the table, I will show you, sir.
This one, no? अरे रुक जा भाई.
इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट क्यों कर रहा है यार? Be very calm and quiet while giving the presentation.
Sorry, that is due to internet. That is a going problem.
Why are you participating in such a program?
Okay. This level of lecture delivery too high or too trivial. Trivial means very low, you mean to say, na?
Yes, sir.
So 46% strongly agree means delivery was too low or too high.
Sir, what the feedback form, based on the feedback form received, we have 1 minute. Here, this is the feedback form.
That is correct. But you have combined both high and very low together, 46% like that?
Okay, Chaliye, I think you said
Okay.
Let us move on. That feedback form was not properly
Lecture
prepared.
delivered. 1 minute.
Feedback form was not properly prepared for that point number 6. So therefore it is.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, we go ahead. ठीक है, आगे जाइए खेड़ीकर साहब.
Here is some problem in the internet, sir. I don't know. When I press once, it is going to twice. Okay. If I press once, it's going twice.
Okay, ठीक है.
Anyway, you complete whatever you want to say.
Yes, sir.
You can tell audio also.
Instructional skill, it is showing that lecture containing simulated audience and involvement, interest and achievement. So 100% was agree. Yes, it is a lecture containing simulated audience involvement and interest and achievements. The similar way, the lectures made effective use of lectures time. So audio and video, 73% was strongly agree and 27% was agree. So then audience, this is the audience classification who attended this and based on their feedback. So 50% students attended, means we received feedback from 50% students. 33% was there from associate professor and professors, and 17% were teachers, and research student was 0, research student was there. Then assess to the teacher. Whenever we ask a question by any trainee or any person who attended this, so access to teacher to promptness to specific questions. So answer within a lecture time. 11% told that yes, fully satisfied. 89% was fully satisfied, and partially satisfied 0% was partially satisfied. So feedback, I want to discuss about some feedbacks given by these trainees. So Sabita told that very informative session and presentation also well. Same way, Akansha Verma told that all lectures and content was very good and these are very useful and informative lesson. Similar way, Mahalakshmi told that lectures triggered environmental participation. So similar way, all these trainees have very good feedback we have received. Similar way, one more feedback I want to highlight. Priyanka Swami have given each and every about her feedback about each and every topic. So and very good suggestions she also have given. Overall training was very stepping stone for research and academics who wish to learn the weather forecasting. So she told that entire training was very good. So she have given for each and every lecture. So thank you very much.
Request Hosalika Saab to say a few words.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Datta. And first of all, let me say this, that this was all possible because DGM sir, supported it very well. Right from the planning session, right from the inception, we had some initial difficulties. Dr. Datta knows about it. But then, we could gather ourselves, and there was a very good support from the headquarters as well as from the ministry also. And we could do it. And I'm really very happy that in this particular year of 75 years of Azadi Ka Mahotsav, so we could do this something which was different and which was never tried before. So for that, I will really congratulate my friend Dr. Datta and his MTI team for doing this, taking up this task and completing it, in a well-designed manner. The feedback indicates that, the people who got this, who attended this, they are happy about it. But definitely there would be a lot of scope or a lot of good chances, to improve upon the structure, the content, and many other aspects, which we will discuss at MTI level, and then we will request our DG's guidance also on that. So let me congratulate all my resource persons who participated it and who made it, successful event. Also, all MTI officers, staff who supported directly, indirectly, and of course, all my IMD colleagues from CRS who were involved in this activity. So this is something very nice. MTI did it under the guidance of DGM sir. So without taking much of the time, I will request DGM sir to kindly address all of us. DGM sir, please.
Yeah, thank you. Before I speak, Dr. Datta, you are telling that you have invited two participants to
Yes,
speak.
yes. I think if DGM Sub allows, then at least one or two participants may come out because they can speak their feedback, their feelings.
That's why you told in the beginning that you have the
Yeah,
participants.
yes.
And why you skipped that?
Yeah, it is that. Yes. Dear participants.
Dr. Sunny, you want to say anything?
No. Sunny is not a participant. Participant is Jisa, Hani. There are many participants I find here.
No, anybody who is present here.
Some participants.
Resource persons also can speak. Or there is a person, Jisha.
There are participants.
अगर कोई कुछ कहना चाहता है इसके बारे में तो बताए, एक दो लाइन या कुछ 1 मिनट के लिए.
Okay. So any resource person wants to speak? Any suggestions, any comments?
Okay.
Are you happy with your lecture?
Everyone.
I just want to ask very straight question. Are you happy with your lecture? All the resource persons. And do you feel that yes, you could have done better? And number one. Number two, that you might have also gone through the curriculum and the subjects and the plans, etc. Do you have any suggestions for that? If anyone wants to speak, can. Nobody wants to speak.
Maybe you have put a lot of difficult questions.
Okay.
कोई कुछ कहना चाहता है? नहीं तो otherwise I will request DGM sir to guide us further, sir.
Thank you. So good morning and good afternoon and namaskar to all of you. And yes, Vasali Karji, Dr. Datta, and dear colleagues and resource persons. At the outset, I congratulate our training division and CRS Pune for conducting this popular lecture series for the students, especially, and the teachers. So it's a good beginning, I will tell. But if I just go through, I feel that you have to go a long way if you really want to be at par with various leading centers, not even at the international level, but at the national level itself. So there is enough scope, what I find, with respect to the course curriculum, with respect to the structure of the program, with respect to delivery of the lecture, and with respect to interaction with our students or the participants. And I feel over the period of time, we'll take up more and more such programs. It can be more specific. For example, we can have a small program with, say, 3 or 4 lectures, popular lectures, say, with respect to the day-to-day weather forecasting. So maybe it is city weather forecast, maybe it is local forecast, or maybe it is district level forecast, or maybe block level forecast. So different types of forecast, what we issue, what is applications, utilization, how they are derived, and who are the users of this forecast, what is the feedback. Similarly, we can take up the specialized, for example, agrometeorological advisory services, or hydromet services, or cyclone warning services, or thunderstorm warning services, or aviation services, maritime services. So there are very specific modules which can be generated. According to the interested groups will show their interest and they can participate in that particular theme. So that will not be very lengthy. That can be, say, 4 or 5 different segments, and it can be done continuously without any gaps at day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So like that, so that there will be some continuity. Or otherwise, it can be taken off in a half day, in a particular day, where one after another can be discussed also. So next question, next point, I will suggest that I don't know whether some of you might have done that, some kind of frequently asked questions on your lectures. So when you are giving the lecture, perhaps you might find time for the question answer. But if you can have some kind of questions in your presentation itself, or at the end of the presentations, which are frequently asked, that itself will inspire the students to find out, and the reply itself they can find out from your presentations. So by that way also, you can enthuse the young mass, and they will take. So this is the second. Third point, I was thinking that we can introduce some kind of quiz in the program itself, or the end of the program. It will be an online quiz, and those who are participating, they can give the answers on that quiz, just like it is carried out in different fora, 5 or 10 questions. And based on that, you can have some kind of evaluation, how far they have understood your lecture, or how far they have understood the interaction within the training program itself. And you can have a consolidated assessment at the end of the program. And based on that, you can also give the certificates, the stars, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 stars. Just see, I think these are all few suggestions what I thought which can be taken up. But for this purpose, actually, the people have to work sincerely. You need not require very too much of talent to do this work, but you should have some kind of good exposure. You should keep your eye open and see the world, what is happening in the world. if you do that and keep it in mind that मैं पीछे नहीं रहूंगा. If you are sure in your mind that मैं पीछे नहीं रहना चाहता हूँ, सब कुछ आपके पास है, आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. और मेरा यही मैंने एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि हम भी इस केस में आगे बढ़ेंगे. और जैसे दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कर रहे हैं, एटलीस्ट एट पार with that we can do and popularize the science of meteorology or weather and climate sciences. So this is with respect to the topic what I told that we can consider. Similarly, we can have the target group, just like students we consider for this purpose. But in students also, there can be different groups. You can have the college students, you can have the school students, you can have the research group. Say, for example, we have a lot of data in CRS. How many people know what is the database available in CRS? So whether we can have some kind of an exposure course where only research people will take interest in that and media people will take interest in that, what are the data available, what are the utilization of this data, how can we access data from IMD, and whether it's chargeable or not chargeable, what they should do, whether they can work jointly with IMD. All these questions can be addressed in data interactions. It may be observational data, it may be model data, it may be satellite data, it may be radar data. So there can be different segments. The utilization of data from India Meteorology Department. Then comes up the big data. So then someone can introduce the concept of big data. Already IMD is the source of big data. So how to utilize that big data concept? We can come up with different types of R&D, including IML. So first and foremost is that we should expose what we have. If we do not expose what we have, then people do not know about IMD. So they might be knowing IMD that yes, IMD is providing the forecast. That's all. But IMD is doing a lot of work beyond forecasting also. There are various types of applications in different sectors. So this is another example where we can take up another course module about utilization of IMD data, source of data, what is the quality of data, how do you go for quality control, what do you do with QA, QC, etc. So, so all these things also can be taken up like that with respect to the topics, with respect to the various targeted groups. So for example, media, we can target the media. In media also, there are different types of media. One is the press and electronic media, one group. Another media is only voice media. For example, you have got community radio, you have got all India radio, you have got FM radio, you have got private radios, etc. So for them, there is no point in providing lecture on whatever video or etc. Providing how far and how well we can send the information for this group, which is dedicated to working towards audio only. So this is another area where we can target it. So training for fishermen, training for port authorities, training for shipping authorities, training for disaster management officials, then training for some press and electronic media, then the social media or whatever it is, and other targeted groups like the power sector, health sector, hydrology sector, transport sector, aviation sector, maritime sector, and tourism sector, even or the other sectors, whatever we have represented already, environment sector, like that. So there are many sectoral applications which we are carrying out, and for each sector we can have one capsule, and different people can speak about that. So in that direction also you can have. It will not be so lengthy. It can be just 1 week, 5 days, one hour every day, or it can be half an hour and half an hour discussions like that. And last but not the least, I suggested that we should issue some kind of best performance of the students, their participations. We can issue the certificates. If someone is participating, say this particular lecture series, if someone is participating at least 60% of the lectures, we can issue a certificate, the participation certificate. If someone has performed well based on quizzes, then you can issue a certificate along with appreciations in terms of 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. Or something else like very good, excellent performance, etc. So there is sky is the limit to provide service to the people at large and our commuters and our users specifically. So these are the few suggestions I will suggest. I think CRS Pune and MDI will take care of that. And I will have very specific session for our resource persons also. This time, resource persons, many of our resource persons were the young persons. I appreciate that. The young person should learn. When I was young, or Valedictory or Datta was young, we are very much interested to give the lectures. If we are given a chance, we are feeling that is we have been just like blessed. And at that time, we tried our best to show that it is the best lecture of our life. Every lecture, when you go, you should go prepared. Every lecture should have in your mind to be the best lecture. If that is the mind, then you can perform well. I would suggest, please do some kind of rehearsal yourself. Don't go straight to the stage. First, you do some kind of rehearsal yourself. Just go through your PPT, speak well, whether you're able to speak well, whether you're able to explain well, whether you're able to answer the questions which is coming up in your mind itself. While during the lecture itself, there will be some questions which will come up to your mind. Perhaps you do not know when you are preparing that. So resource persons, when given this chance to deliver a lecture, don't think that you are a teacher. You are also a learner. You are learning from that. And every learning from every lecture should be a building block for the next lecture. So your lecture should be oriented towards the target group, not towards about your knowledge. You may have knowledge more, but target group, whatever they intend, that should be given in your lecture. You should speak in their tone instead of speaking in your tone. Say, for example, you will go on that, yes, there is a monsoon activity, there is fairly widespread rainfall activity over Karnataka, but people do not know what is fairly widespread. So similarly, you told heavy rainfall, you did not define heavy rainfall. So people do not know what is heavy rainfall. Similarly, thunderstorm or any particular weather or any different typical statistics, the normal rainfall, below normal rainfall, we just speak. But whether while speaking, whether we are coming out very simple or very simplistic explanation of all these terms and terminologies, so that each and every person who are participating in that, and they can appreciate, they can understand, and they can. Okay, I'll give one example. So we give the forecast, etc. One of our colleague in the level of essay, he was posted in Ganganagar, in Rajasthan. Ganganagar or Jodhpur somewhere was posted. So हम देते हैं कि इतना बारिश होगा. So say heavy rainfall होगा, and heavy rainfall we tell that it is 7 centimeter to 11 centimeter is the heavy rainfall. So he found out a innovative idea, you can say. I very much appreciated that how to explain what is 7 centimeter rainfall or 11 centimeter rainfall. So he showed that if there is no runoff, then the water will stand about this type of height actually. So he can show it. This is the 7 centimeter of rainfall. And he gave an example. If you are having the paddy will be in the standing water up to this much of height. So similarly, if you give all these things, so by that way, you have to touch to the heart of your target group. So you might be dealing with the people those who do not understand the terminology and meteorology, but they can understand in their own language. If a person is a farmer, he is a farmer's son, he is working in the field, he will better understand if you say it is ankle deep of water or it is knee deep of water. If I go 7 centimeter, I will say ankle deep of water. It is. Okay, if it is knee deep of water, I will say it is 30, 45 centimeter rainfall, exceptional heavy rainfall, knee deep of water. So this type of example, when I heard once, I actually appreciated what he is speaking about, to reach out our message to a common man. So he was talking about a common man. Common man asked him, because he is an observer, he is posted at outstation, people come in contact, they feel that he is from weather forecasting department, he knows everything. They do not know that he is a scientific assistant or senior observer or whatever it is. And nobody wants to say, of course, that what is my designation in outstations. I do not know, I will get information. So there is another way, therefore, to educate our people working in observatories. We can have a course to explain what is the forecast being issued, how to interpret this forecast, what should be told to the public and local media. Do you know nowadays, in certain villages also you will find the video channels, TV channels, private TV channels. In block level also you will find private TV channels. So they may ask them, They will not come to Delhi or they will not come to Mumbai to ask the questions and record it. So the local people, those who we have, we should empower them so that whatever written information they can communicate in a very well manner. It has been seen also, we have got people recruited through this district meteorological unit. There also people are speaking very well. They are preparing video message, I am saying. So it is possible our people, those who are BTech and BSc, MSc, working as scientific assistant at outstations, if we train them well, they can also carry out our message to the last mile, whatever we are telling from here. They may be better than us, I will tell. Because I'm also looking at the video message being prepared by our officers at different offices. So therefore, empowering our own people through training also is very need of the hour. So we can prepare a course module for that purpose also. So like this, I think I'm taking more time and I will stop here. There is enough scope. Please plan it. And second module should start at the earliest. We should not be in this once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a time when we conducted this course. That should not happen. It should be a regular affair. And all these things can be properly planned and structured, and we can have a better output next time. Feedback form also, it has to be prepared very well. Okay, so please look at the feedback form prepared. What is the discrepancies? What further we can do it so that we can have a good feedback. And feedback form should be available from the beginning of the lecture. You don't share feedback form at the end of the lecture series. And feedback forms should be available for each and every topic. Then it can be generalized for the entire course module. So that way also we can find out. So I will stop here and I wish all the best for all our resource persons and participants. And really we are proud of the participants, those who participated in this program. And we can have just promise that we'll come back to you with better production and with better performance and the better skill. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind advice. We will definitely follow your advice and we will go ahead. So now, Mr. Sandichuk, may please propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity for giving the vote of thanks. So first, I would like to thank all the
You are not
24
visible.
institutes who... Sorry for that. Okay, so first, I would like to thank all the 24 institutes who accept our request to nominate the students and the professors to be a part of this program of the Indian Meteorological Department. I would also like to thank all the participants for a very good cooperation and participation in all the lectures. I would like to thank all the resource persons from the IMD, IITM, ISRO, and CMWF and the other institutes who spare their busy schedule and help us to aware the students more about the practical aspects of the atmospheric sciences, environmental sciences, instrumentation, and many other fields. I would also like to thank the technical team who is work with very good coordination with the participants, resource personnel, and other technical aspects of this program. In the last, I would like to thank respective DGM sir, head MTI, and head CRS for their motivation and the guidance for successfully implement this new initiative for the students and the teachers. And as directed by the DGM sir and the head MTI and the head CRS, we should continue this type of modules and the trainings for the further students or the professors or the teachers or even for our colleagues in our department. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So can we now leave that? So thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
Dr. Saab, हम लोग
Yes, yeah, next meeting I am. ठीक है.
yeah.
हैप्पी बर्थडे सर।
आप मुझे बोल रहे हैं ठीक है, मगर ये ऐसे ही जो हम